Imagine the breath as a welcoming, letting everything happen to us, everything, experiencing it all, with every inhale, with every exhale, coming back to the reality we're right here. Feet on the floor, bottom on the chair, however it is. Join each other as we pop in and arrive at the same time, breathing all together. We're letting ourselves arrive by getting here, in whatever way that needs to happen, but including the breath. We're going to continue with the goddess chant from the Kore goddess chant from many, many thousands of years ago to remind us of where we're going today, which is continuing with that wheel, that constant changing motion of the universe that is us, that is also gets perceived as outside of us. But this is what we say to remind ourselves about this. Everything lost is found again in a new form, a new way. Everything hurt is healed again in a new time, a new day. Change is, touch is, touch is, changes. Change us, touch us, touch us, change us, change us, touch us, touch us, change us, change us, touch us, touch us, change us. So to remind us about these beautiful cards, let's see if I can get them all up here. The Whirling Dervish was from the Sufi Tarot, and maybe we'll do mostly this one because this one's quite apropos, I'd say, for where we're going. This is from another deck that I happen to have. I'll have to remember the name of it for next time. But it's all different ways of calling this wheel, the wheel of heaven, the circle, the wheel of fortune. in this one, the wheel of life and the shark, falak, and these senses of constant change, constant motion. And so there's so much that can be said about this. We will contemplate this for
for a while,
for a little while,
as long as it flows, right?
As long as it flows. And for right now, what I thought is I wanted to have you watch these wheels, these various wheels, and kind of feel it within your body as I read this poem of Rumi's, because we'll be using this poem that Rumi wrote about the Wheel of Fortune, which he called more the water wheel.
And before you read the poem,
yes,
just when we read a poem like this, my mind, being a thinking type, wants to figure it out. So you want to just be affected by the poem. You could sort of imagine breathing it into your heart. I just did a koan study with this one group, and it was like you just let it work you. You don't worry about it. So the koan poem is a mystery. It's like Lectio Divina in the Christian tradition, where you just let it resonate through you, and there are different levels of the poem that we'll talk about to let it resonate.
Yes, we'll do Tasawuri on the poem, but we're going to start with one aspect of this poem, but I'm going to read it through each time we come back to it, because it tells us so much about our relationship and the experience of the wheel. We came whirling out of nothingness, scattering stars like dust. The stars form a circle, and in the middle, we dance. The wheel of heaven circles God like a mill. If you try to grab a spoke, it will tear your hand off. Turning and turning, it sunders all attachment. Were this wheel not in love, it would cry, "Enough, how long this turning?" Every atom turns bewildered. Beggars circle tables. Dogs circle carrion. The lover circles her own heart. Ashamed, I circle shame. A ruined water wheel, every which way I turn. A river. If that rusty old sky creaks to a stop, still, I turn. And it is only God, the universe, circling his, her, their selves. And we come back to this one piece that Rumi speaks to in the poem for our first really exploration of this wheel. When Rumi says, every atom turns bewildered, beggars circle tables, dogs circle carrion, the lover circles one's own heart. Ashamed, I circle shame. So, we want to know, what do you circle? So this is the exploration that we really take in, because you could say there's
actually 4 levels, right? There's the universal level, infinity, just the circling of the source.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's the circling that's really species specific to us as human beings, our developmental criteria. And then we circle on a cultural level based on what our culture is circling. And then we circle based on our own little psychodynamics. And you as a 3 on the Enneagram circle shame on one level, on that personal level. I circle fear as a 6 on the Enneagram. So there are lots of circlings we do.
Yeah, so on the personal level, that's the one we're going to start with today, because it's the one that I'd say usually creates so much more overwhelm, confusion, uh, fragmentation,
Fragmentation.
all this stuff that goes on that we think is just life doing us, when really what's happening is we are not in alignment with the wheel, internally, with that large outer wheel of the universe. So, what we circle on a very easy level, if you know what your enneatype is, it's usually for the 8, 9, or 1. It's around some issue of autonomy. It's got to be me. I want to have control. I want to be able to do it my way, right?
I'll do it my way.
So that's usually what, and some of us even will affiliate with that even more than others. And then there's the 2, 3, and 4. At the bottom of the 2, 3, and 4, you'd say, of all the different things that are swirling around inside of them, is some kind of shame. And I believe Rumi probably was a 4 on the Enneagram, and he circled shame. That's what he really found again and again. And so then there's the fear points, the 5, 6, and 7, is that usually there's some kind of worry or concern, and oftentimes with the 7 you don't see it as well because they're so planning, but they're planning, and their idea of having to do so much is all based in fear. So when you know what you're circling, it really helps. So I want you to just take it into an internal inquiry for yourself, to hold that, because hopefully we'll understand a little bit more about it today.
And on a personal level, you may circle different things, may come and go, but mine often go back to fear.
Right,
different guises of fear.
Right, underneath it all is often that is the kind of the center point of the other circle. So we're going to play with what we did last time, with really being able to find our center point, because if you can find a center even while you recognize you're circling these other things, then it brings you back into some kind of congruence with this continual flow of the universe, this continual changing. And it's not as difficult. It's not as, it doesn't create as much suffering, really, as the Buddhists would say.
Yeah, and in the wheel of awareness, those who've done, there's the hub. Every circle has that center point, and the Tao, the Yin Yang, has that still point in the center that it all circles. So, yeah.
So we're going to start with really finding that still point, and you could say it's somewhere down right below your belly button, around the hara area, is where that is the center of your body. And so breathing in for every inhale, and we're going to start with earth, into that center point, and then you can just breathe out again. Just get settled into where you are right now. Finding that center point in your own body. Letting the breath just come out everywhere. But breathing it into the center point. And on this earth concentration to embody the wheel, we're going to really begin by letting ourselves feel not only the center point, but also some of the heaviness, which can be used to either make us feel ashamed, or it can paralyze us, it can make us go into this fear, or it can also kind of be used in also an autonomous way. I'm going to just not going to move. I'm going to be stubborn. But we're going to feel it today is also a way of helping us to connect with the center. So breathing in to the center, and then on the exhale, we're going to bring the energy down into the very toes and feet. Sending it down and really imagining on every exhale. The inhales always come back to the center, and the exhales come back to the feet and the shins and the ankles, and feel that weightedness. Kind of, I am here. I'm on earth. The gravity is pulling me down. I feel my own materiality. And if it helps to bend your knees or do whatever you need to do, you can let your head go down, all the way down to the ground. Whatever it needs to feel that, the heaviness of your feet, your lower shins. You can bring it all the way up to your knees and your thighs. So this whole leg just wants to become roots in the earth. Nothing bad or wrong about this, just letting ourselves really feel the heaviness of this material existence on the exhale. Deep, rich, full breaths in. Deep, rich, full breaths out, coming down. Let it be really about down, not swaying, just coming down, bringing that energy down into the ground. So we're really feeling the pull. Our knees should be bending on that exhale. And then bringing it all the way up so that we feel the pull into our hips, and we can put our hands on our waist. Feeling that pull. You can even dip one hip down farther. Breathing into our centers and letting ourselves really feel that pull down to the earth. And breathing in again to the center, and then letting it go up to the solar plexus, all underneath the ribs. And feel that whole area. You can put your hands on it to help it just kind of feel that sense of the pull down. And then one more breath for the whole upper part of our body, just letting the arms and the shoulders and the head all feel its heaviness. And then coming back to just standing again, legs straight or semi-straight, not locked. Breathing into your belly again, into that beautiful part, the hara, where the center is. And begin to feel that center in your body now, maybe the weightedness of your body. As you go into the water breath, breathing into the nose and out through the mouth. On the water breath, we start to come into that motion of the wheel. And all maybe the little individual wheels that are turning inside of us, going one way or another way. And we're going to start to feel kind of that. We're going to loosen up all the parts of our body where things can get caught, which is in our joints. And so as we breathe out, we're going to breathe into the center again. And then on the exhale, we're going to start by loosening the ankle. You can loosen one ankle at a time and feel its own circling. Sometimes it might have a mad circle, and sometimes, like madly fast. And other times it might have a really slow circling. And then letting the circles come up to your knees. Breathing in to the center and then letting the knees circle in all the various ways they can circle. Together, alone. Fast, slow. Letting that exhale be the circling. One more breath on the knees. Coming back to the center again with every inhale. And let the hips begin to circle. They can circle really small, tiny little circle. They can circle really big. Feel the different ways they can circle. And what feels good or like yourself today. And breathing in again, always keep coming back to that center line. And then bringing it up into the heart area and let the whole heart area, imagine your heart, it's turning around itself. And letting ourselves come back to that center and finding the shoulders and how parts of us are always got too many burdens, too much controlling. And so that controlling all those ideas of things the way they have to be, create our own little circles. So we're uncircling, finding the circling of the shoulders that helps it to relax. And come back again, always center. And bringing it out to the elbows and the wrists in all those ways that we give and try to do things, get things accomplished. Feel all the turning. Sometimes one wrist goes one way, the other one goes the other. Bringing in that inhale again, always coming back to center, revitalizing, and then letting it slowly come up into your head, your neck. All the things that we think about, all the fear gets lodged up in our heads and our necks. All the things we're trying to figure out what to do. Just noticing this kind of turning that happens. And then just back to the center again. And this time, just beginning to feel what it feels like to have the whole body circle into one direction. You can use one leg as just that circling point. And with that circling point, imagine the whole body is in unison. There is not just one arm or one leg trying to get somewhere else. We're just in this unison. Let me do the will of the universe. Coming back to center with this. See what it feels like. Finding your center. And this time we're going to feel what it feels like when we bring in that fire, which is what we need. As Rumi says, were this wheel not in love, it would cry, enough, enough this turning. So we're going to breathe in through the mouth, out through the nose. And as we do that, breathing in again to that center, really feeling it right in there. And we're going to just imagine for a moment what it's like when we take off with this energy of, it's my way, I know how to do it. So we breathe in this energy and we go in one direction. It might be the exact opposite of where the turn is going, but we're going to do it anyway. Feel that exhale. It's kind of my way. Good, feels energizing, but we might not get too far. Maybe we go in one direction for a while, but we feel that pull to come back. Find our center again. So we come back and we really feel the center on that inhale. And we begin to just gently begin to turn. We take all that energy, you can even imagine as frustration, as anger at times, that can turn into love. I want this. And we're going to begin to let it just turn us. And then when we need to regroup, we regroup again, breathing in all that energy into our hara until we can breathe back out and go with that flow. Beautiful energy. We want to bring it in. We want to find that love. We're that wheel not in love. We want to be in love. See what it feels like just to go around fast. You can walk around the room. Bring in the higher vision. Let your eyes go up towards the sky on this one. One more like that. Finding yourself back at center, breathing in deep, rich, full breaths into your center. Feel the energy now in your body to be able to be on this journey of the wheel. And as we breathe in again, now we transition into the air breath, breathing in and out through the mouth. Breathing into our center, breathing out everywhere. So imagine that we breathe into this kind of holy center. Holy in the sense that it has substance, but it doesn't. And then we let the air go through everything. So there's no longer any resistance. And you can see that with the air breath, it can be very scattered. It could be all over the place, of here and there and everywhere. And you can even do that if you'd like on that exhale. Just feel the energy of the air scattering you. But come back to the center line. With each inhale, come back to the center. And now let the air instead make everything a little bit more effortless in the turning. The turning is now part of every cell. Every atom turns. Bewildered. Wow, what is going on? This is amazing.
You could say bewildered or awestruck.
Just letting your body gently turn, move in the wind. You're sailing with it. It's like that when the wind and the sails come together, our body is the sail. And as you're ready, you can come back to the center line again. Feeling your whole body. You can continue the air breath or go back to water, which is in through the nose, out through the mouth. And just feel that flow now through the body, the natural flow that's there. There may be other parts of us wanting to flow in a particular direction, but right now see if we can just ask all of the other parts inside to come into this one flow. They can be fast, they can be slow, it doesn't matter. They can be jagged, they can be smooth, but just let them know that you want to have them in this turning, this continual change that's going on. And as you settle in, let's get a place to sit, to be comfortable, to be able to use active imagination to dream into this place a little deeper.
So as you settle, you're feeling that conscious self, that hub, that still point. Really let yourself be that. But you can still see there's a lot of circling, different cells, different parts maybe circling or whirring away. And if they are, inviting them to just rest here in the sacred space of the heart. As you bring your breath, your chest, imagining it soft and porous, as the breath of life, of love, of light, just flows in and out. So we're bringing our awareness to circle the sacred space of your heart at this moment. That's that intention that allows conscious self to bring their awareness to whatever you want to circle. So right now, invite all yourselves to just circle the sacred space of your heart. Just breathing in and breathing out. And any selves that are busy or worried or circling whatever, just notice what they're circling and say, we'll get to you, because you're one of those personal circlings. But right now, if you could just step aside, just relax, and bring your awareness with me and all the other selves to circling our hearts, circling love. Love for ourselves in this mysterious path of each of our lives that we're on. And selves will, manager and protect ourselves will pull us away, just gently bringing back to the sacred space of your heart. They can even be there doing their thing while you bring your awareness to your heart. Both can be happening. You're circling your heart while some other selves are circling whatever they're circling. Room for it all in the nothingness, in the boundlessness. And as you continue to circle your heart, to bring your awareness there, just listen to these few words. The sun world dissolving. Bathing in moonlight. Dreaming while awake. So just allowing the garden of your heart, whatever way you experience, whatever senses, whether you see or feel, whether it's someplace you've been before, but just imagine circling your heart, the breath flowing in and out of the sacred space of your heart. And take a moment with the inner senses to just sense in and touch and be touched by your heart. And then opening to circling high self, conscious self, bringing that intention with all love and all respect to invite in high self, your inner guide, the beloved, in whatever shape or form, whether you feel the presence of high self, whether you just hold that intention and open and are receptive, whether an animal ally or a wise being or a sphere of light or just this felt sense. But breathing in, circling high self. So many things in the world and the intoxication of life to circle, and worries and shames and autonomies and things to do. And all those selves continue to circle that, but you begin to circle high self, bringing your loving awareness to high self, inviting all the other selves to join in as much as they are able or wish to. And as you circle high self, we open to a time of communion, a time of guidance, a time of dialogue, but beginning by communing, breathing in the loving presence, breathing back love and gratitude. A line in Rumi's poem would be, "In awe I circle my soul." And then, beloved high self, you can ask for any guidance on this deeper circling of learning to circle you, of learning to circle love. Any guidance that you have on our paths, how we can, in all the worries and tumultuousness of life in our lives and our culture and our world and inside, how can we also remember to circle you and to circle love? Any guidance to help us, whether it comes now in an image or later in a dream or a thought during the day, we open to your guidance on helping us deeper, move more deeply into this deeper circling in the midst of all the other circlings. How can I circle you? You can continue with that communion and guidance from high self if you wish, or I invite you, if you wish, to move on to that personal circling we spoke about earlier. Whether it's one of the things we identified that are often underneath the shame, the autonomy, the fear, the worries, or whether it's what you're going to have for supper tonight, or it may be something more on the surface, but really noticing what's circling on the level of the personality and the inner selves, who's circling something, and take a moment to really invite that one into the garden of your heart. Really inviting that one in when you're ready, and just notice what they're circling. You as conscious self with the support of high self can hold this one in their circling. Just notice, take a few moments to just notice what this one's circling. And as they circle that, what their thoughts and beliefs are, what their feelings, what their behaviors are, really getting to know this one and what they circle and how they circle. And as you invite this one, first notice how you feel towards this one that you're bringing awareness to. It's so hard to stay in the center. If you get lost, if you blend, your arm gets torn off and you get lost. If you're really inviting this quality of love, of respect to this one, if there's anything else, that's another self that judges or pushes or say we shouldn't be this way, just asking that one to step aside. We can circle you at another time. We can get to know you. But coming back to this one, and just opening, inviting this one to share all about them, what they circle and what they circle. Just open, becoming receptive, like that waking dream, seeing what unfolds as you're with this one with love and respect. And you invite them to just share, however, whatever they wish to. They may share through sensations, as well as thoughts, feelings, memories. Making sure they know you're here, that they're not alone in their turning. And also open to what they're worried about would happen, what they're afraid might happen if they don't circle this, because they work so hard to circle this. It's such work. What keeps them circling, you might ask them. Maybe they say, it's all I know. You might even ask how you could help them, support them. Maybe you could turn with them or listen to them, or what way could you help and support them? letting them know perhaps that they're safe and secure with you, with high self, that they are in the sacred space, perhaps the garden of the heart. And here, its only thing to circle is love. They might take a moment to just look, to see this space they're in, to feel love, to feel held. They can still circle if they wish. But let them know when they're ready there are other possibilities. I know you're locked in the past, inviting them into the present, into the garden of your heart. At the very least, letting them know you see them circling. If they want, you can circle with them, or you can circle the garden and circle high self. You're letting them know if there's anything else they wish to share. We'll just take another minute, letting them share perhaps how they learned to circle this way, anything that they wish to share with you. And then as you're ready, inviting them, any other selves that are there, to circle high self through the breath, all breathing together, this breath of unity in and out. Breathing with high self, inviting all the selves to breathe together. Letting them know there's a circle of your inner family that you're getting to know. All learning to circle the conductor of conscious self with the composer of high self. And also becoming aware of all of us gathered here, circling the mystery together, each in our own unique ways. Supporting and sharing as we learn more about this turning and learning how to circle high self, supporting each other in that work. And as in a moment, we'll take that inhalation, breathing hu down to the inner life, hu up to the outer life. Really, we're circling the mystery, the unknown. Taking a moment in contemplation, you can draw or write or just reflect like a dream, though. Taking a moment to just reflect on your soul work today. You can stay resting in meditation or come coming back to your room when you're ready, refreshed and alert. And we'd love to hear anything you wish to share. And you could either unmute and share, or you can type in the chat box. And we talked about the Wheel of Fortune. I guess I'm Pat Sajak, and Yaya is the lovely Vanna White. And although Pat seems to be circling Vanna, we're all circling the Wheel of Fortune, and the lovely Vanna White will read if you want to type it in the chat box.
Oh dear.
See, I'm circling the part of me that likes to be dorky.
Yeah,
Right?
I see that. I just want to say, I also want to ask a question. Are you all okay with, there's a few people who aren't here today who have signed up for this. Sushila, who's been a part of it for a while, and Nuri Kalbi are two that I can think of. If you're okay with being recorded, this will go out to them to be able to listen to the whole thing. If you're not, just all you got to do is go like this, and if anybody isn't, I'll be glad. I'll just
Well, we can
stop
just
the
pause
recording.
it for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I can also pause the recording.
Yeah.
So you can always let me know, and I can pause it during your share if you'd like to share. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Oh, beloveds, how are you turning today?
Well, I thought it was a beautiful session again, and I mentioned last time about resisting change, being afraid of change, and through that and the whole thing, I'm more deeply recognizing I've been all about trying to change for many years, and so and I have changed, and I have a new family. This beautiful family is not my family of origin. So I'm embracing that more. And I did learn to fall in love with the word bewildered and mystery, particularly when DB was going through his passing. And there's great comfort in it, and also in today's crazy world. I mean, just to be able to rest in that bewildered and mystery. So I'll continue to focus on that more and be grateful for change and be loving towards my newly kind of merging that have been buried so long. Is there still wait, so okay. So anyway, thank you. Good teachings.
Are you unmuting Maria Rahima? Or going? Oh, she just froze.
No.
Okay. Sorry.
Very interesting solar today. Oh, it just muted again, dear. It says I'm muted. Can you hear?
You're going in and
Oh,
out.
thank you.
It's a bad.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you. You coming? It's the internet.
No, you're frozen. Oh, I'm putting it in the chat.
Right. Good.
It's frozen. Sorry.
I circle around body pain today. It's really extreme today. So it was quite emotional to even turn and just try and be with the pain. And the self that is turning around it is just, she's just in anguish and desperation for relief. She wants to fix it. And I do think underneath that, there is a circling of shame that I've done something or I could do something to make this go away. yeah, it was a very, very kind of a balm of love that came in when high self came in, and just I enjoyed that experience of circling my heart, circling the love. And yeah, and I think the main thing is just like not to grab and just be with the emotion of wanting it to go away, but knowing that everything changes and it will change too.
Mm. So, if you can really lightly imagine that you're holding this part of you that even the wanting it to change is a part of holding the pain. It's all together, right? Because whenever you want something to happen, and you want it so strongly, there's a holding. So you're holding that part that really is engaged in, I'm focusing on pain. There's another part though. The other the other parts of your body that are not in pain.
Yeah.
Right? And so it's really important because otherwise, this part that is consumed with pain, it makes everything turn around the pain, and you cannot any longer focus on what else. Like you said, that there was this balm of love. It's so important to find when the pain and it gets so focused on, right? What else do you feel in your body?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because it's already happening. There is already a place where there's relief. So
Yeah.
that's why if it's focused on, I have to fix it, I have to make it better, there is no ability to also feel the part that is like, you're okay right now. There's some part I know in your body that is not in pain.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I thank you for sharing so deeply.
Instu. Yeah.
Good morning.
Good
Am I
morning.
speaking loudly enough?
Yes.
Okay. Um, so for probably my whole life, I've been circling unworthiness. Maybe I can be like Rumi and be a 4. I don't know what my number is. And thank you for this beautiful guided teaching. I've realized that a number of the inner cells have been in their way fighting the culture, fighting parental rejection, fighting rejection of my first Sangha. That was a killer. Um, Identifying with unworthiness as the cause of it all. Um, um, with the bald reemergence of racism, a lot of it comes rearing up. And what the guided, beautiful breath and light revealed is that I've been fighting my whole life. It's where sometimes I see this anger and reactivity that I just almost gave up on. So it's coming from this root. And it's a source of resistance and a lot of shame and unworthiness in regards to the path. And unworthiness serves to keep the divine at arm's length and it serves the nafs really well in that regard. It's so multi-layered. And the guidance today was, this saying, resist not evil, is like what it's getting at is cultivating an indifference, not a coldness, but just, the higher self and awareness isn't truly affected. But in a sense, it is, because it remains constantly with all the other selves. So my job is to continue contemplating, what does this mean? Resist not evil. What does this mean to cultivate a sort of Buddhist indifference? And I really don't know. But the constant, it's like Rumi said, for 60 years, this flowing toward me has never stopped or slowed. And that constancy is here for all of us. So thank you so much for your listening and your teaching. Thank you.
Read.
Yeah, I want to read Maria Rahima's Sorry Computer Issues. The part is the controller. High self was a very large polar bear. The garden of my heart was Alton Collins, which is this retreat center that we're going to be doing the May retreat in. This controller part has been doing things differently and wants me to notice a planning of something this week. He helped me do it differently, much less anxiety. She also says, I am a 1 on the Enneagram. Everything today was really enlightening. Thank you.
Maybe it was holy perfection for a moment. So,
Yes.
is anything, we got a minute. If anybody else has something burning they wish to share.
I'll just say a moment, if nobody does, on resist. Resist not. Resist not anything. Because anything we resist, as Dan Siegel said, persists.
And I'll add one more. I think the first step towards indifference is acceptance, right?
Understanding.
Acceptance and understanding and compassion, because we can't get rid of the angry parts inside. Those are the instinctual parts of the brain. So those animal nuffs, without them, we couldn't survive. So how do we accept and then move towards the indifference? To me, in soul work, is not being blended, or we're talking about the same thing, we do slightly different words, but not to be blended with that self. So you can say, like a kid, oh, you're really angry and upset, and you had really good reasons to be. Oh, yeah.
Yes. And I loved it because what Maria Rahima said kind of spoke to that, which is that her controller came in, which to me can be an angry part, and the energy of that was harnessed in a new way. So that's really what.
Isn't, not that we're focusing on the Enneagram, but the 8, the 9, and the 1, isn't there anger in that triad too?
Oh, there is.
Yeah.
It's the whole focus is anger. That's why the autonomy piece is so big, because
there's a nice smile like there. That's not frozen.
And that's just how that's what should turn around. Everybody's going to turn around something, right? That's
as long as we're alive in this human form.
As long as we're alive and we have personality, we have parts. So to understand what we turn around is helpful. And like Insu talked about, becoming that witness. So, it was wonderful to be with you. I look forward to our continuing journey on this path. And
I think we'll try to send out the poem if they don't have it.
Oh yeah, I'll send out the poem too.
And just sort of have fun with reading it occasionally if you want. I'm all into homework and Yaya's not, so we tread lightly. But the poem will come out in case you want to sit with it occasionally.
Being a 3, I don't want anybody to push on me. I already have too many struggles.
Being a 6, I want to
inside.
know what to do and be loyally circling that.
So we have to find our way. All right. Lots of love to you all. Bye.